Hello everybody, my name's Savannah and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys all the books that I think would be good reads on a rainy day. As it is a rainy day, I would love to read all of these books, but as it's already like 5 o'clock, I wouldn't have enough time to read all of them, and then the sun would be out tomorrow. So if you have a free rainy day where you have no work, no school, nothing, and you just want to laze around and relax, you should definitely pick up one of these books and snuggle under a blanket, because these are the perfect rainy reads in my opinion. So before we get on with the video, I would just like to say that I was going to film a February TBR for 2018. I did film it, I just never got around to editing it, and I made like 2 videos where I forgot things to add in and stuff, so I just didn't feel like doing all that work, and I honestly I'm too lazy to do it, so I'm not going to do it. But I do have some books on there that I don't think I'll be getting to, as there's only like 1 week of February left, so I really don't think I'll get to all of them. So yeah. Anyway, let's just get on with the video. So the first book I am going to mention is a classic, and I love this book so much. I've read it twice now. I know that's not a lot, but this book is so close to my heart and I love it so much. And that is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. This book is amazing. I love it so much. I know it's not like one of those new YA releases where you can like understand everything. So this is like a little complicated and stuff, but I just remember reading this for the first time. It was a rainy day, so the instant connection right there. And I was reading it, obviously. And this book is just so magical and beautiful and amazing. So you have to read this. This book is about a hobbit who is visited by a wizard one day, along with 13 dwarves, I believe, and they go on this adventure about reclaiming the dwarves' kingdom. So if you haven't read it, go read it. You won't be sorry, and it's just a beautiful book that you should read. After that, I have more than one book, and it's like a series of books, but they're kind of classical, but not really classics, if you know what I mean. And those books are The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. Now, whenever it's a rainy day, sometimes I feel like going to Narnia, but then I realize I don't have a magical wardrobe or the painting that turns into the sea or a train that leads to a sandy beach. So you guys know what I'm talking about if you have seen the movies or read the books. Whenever I read these books, I forget about them. Like, I really have no clue what happens in these, except for like the first and the last books. But in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, Caspian, like, I forget about what happens in those books just because I watch the movies so much, and I just kind of mix it up and I just think of the movies. But I know that I love them, and that these are so good. These are like a childhood books, memories, things. I believe I've read the series twice, and you should go read it. If you do not know what Narnia is, you are living under a rock. But it's basically about this magical world called Narnia. It depends on which story you're on, but the movies, it's the main focus on these 4 brothers and sisters, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, and they go to this magical world and they battle the White Witch, and then their story just progresses. But the first one is about how Narnia came to be, and then the next one is about the movie, and then so on and so forth. Go read these books. After that, you should go and read Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I'm not a huge fan of the Mortal Instruments like Emma from Emma Books is. I will leave her booktube channel in the description down below, so go check it out if you haven't already, but you probably have because she's like one of the most famous booktubers on booktube. But I really did like the Infernal Devices trilogy, and I love the characters in this, and this is the perfect book to read on a rainy day. It takes place in London, England, where it's raining all the time. So, perfect book to read. This trilogy is about these 3 young people who, one of them is a warlock, 2 of them are shadow hunters, and there are other characters that are shadow hunters. But it revolves around the shadow hunter world, where these people called shadow hunters fight demons, keeping the mundane world safe, so like our world safe, so we don't get eaten by demons. And it's about their journey, and this takes place in like 1800s. I could be wrong, but it takes place in the past, but it's so good. If you have not read the series, trilogy, it is a trilogy, go read it because it's amazing. Now the last 2 books I have to show you are both part of some of my favorite series of all time. So you have to read these books. If it's not a rainy day and you have these books, go read them. Doesn't matter what kind of day it is, but rainy day is preferable. Still, you have to read them because I am obsessed with the stories of these 2 books. So I will show them to you now. The first one is Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes. Oh my gosh, I love this book and the series so much. I'm addicted. I'm currently reading the 6th book that just came out like last week. It's so good. It's amazing. You have to read them. So this takes place in the world called Mythica, and there are these 3 kingdoms. I'm going to say them wrong because they're hard to pronounce, and I'm sure everybody has a different take on how to say them. But the 3 kingdoms are Limerios, Pelagia, and Aranos. And it basically follows 4 main characters, and so all these countries are like in one land and they're against each other and they're fighting, and it's like all these kingdoms battling each other along with the characters, and there's so many characters and it's a bloodbath in this. Do not get your heart set on some of the characters because they will die. I'm just saying, a lot of death in this book, and it's crazy. You have to read this. I love these books so much, and I will treasure them always. And the last and final book I have to show you today on a rainy day is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Look at the pages and tell me this isn't the perfect book to read on a rainy day. Black, dreary, outside, dark, dreary. Connection already. 6 of Crows is actually like an a sequel series to the Grisha trilogy, but you don't have to read them in order, although I would advise it because both book series / duologies are really good, but I was in love with this duology so much. So if you read this and you finish it, go on to read Crooked Kingdom, which is the 2nd book in this duology. Amazing book, amazing characters, amazing world. And if you read the Grisha trilogy, you will see some other characters in this that I'm in love with. King of Ravka. Anyway, this book is about these 6 people who have to pull off this heist in order to get some money. There's like all these different characters who are so diverse, and it's amazing. You will never be able to put this book down, and you will just keep reading your eyes out. And it's so good. You have to read this book. I don't know how many times I'm going to stress it to you, but you have to read all of these books I mentioned in your lifetime, or I will make you. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!